And shalom, shalom. How you guys doing? Welcome back. So this is going to be the Testament of Issachar. It's going to be our second one this evening, second reading this evening. So if you haven't caught the other four I've done, go check my YouTube page. They're going to be right there in the playlist. Well, minus Judah. I haven't put him in the playlist yet. I've been working on this. Anyway, let's check. All right. It appears to be going pretty good. So, let's get started with Issachar. So, excuse me. The Testament of Issachar, the fifth son of Jacob and Leah. Issachar, the fifth son of Jacob and Leah, the sinless child of hire for mandrakes. He appeals for simplicity. The copy of the words of Issachar. For he called his sons and said to them, Hearken, my children, to Issachar your father. Give ear to the words of him who is beloved of Yah. I was born the fifth son to Jacob by way of hire for the mandrakes. For Reuben my brother brought in mandrakes from the field. And Rachel met him and took them. And Reuben wept, and at his voice Leah my mother came forth. Now these mandrakes were sweet-smelling apples, which were produced in the land of Haran, below a ravine of water. And Rachel said, I will not give them to thee, but they shall be to me instead of children. For Yah has despised me, and I have not borne children to Jacob. Now there were two apples, and Leah said to Rachel, Let it suffice that thee that shall haste, taken my husband, wilt thou take these also? Ugh, old English. And Rachel said to her, Thou shalt have Jacob this night for the mandrakes of the sun. You know that, before I continue, the apples are, these women, and they're talking about, sorry, excuse me. So the apples are talking about women. Anyway, let me continue. And Leah said to her, Jacob is mine, for I am the wife of his youth. But Rachel said, Boast not, and vaunt not thyself, for he espoused me before you. And for my sake he served our father 14 years. And had not craft increased on the earth, and the wickedness of men prospered, you would not now see the face of Jacob. For thou art not his wife, but in craft were taken to him in my stead. My father deceived me, and removed me on that night, and I did not suffer Jacob to see me, for I had been there. This had not happened to him. For had I been there, this had not happened to him. Wow, I'm butchering this, forgive me. Nevertheless, for the mandrakes, I am hiring Jacob to thee for one night. And Jacob knew Leah, and she conceived and bare me. And on account of the hire, I was called Issachar. What was that? Hold on just a moment, guys. Let me make sure everything's all good. Seems to be good. Okay.
Hi.
Sorry. Yep, Callan says hi.
We
All right.
Go back to my room, everyone.
Okay. Back to the reading. Apologies. excuse me, where was I? And had not craft increased on the earth. No, I read that. And my father deceived me, and removed me on the night, and did not suffer Jacob to see me. For I had been there. For had I been there, this had not happened to him. This would not have happened to him. I think that's a would is supposed to be in there. Not only is it Old English, but there's a lot of typos in this for being an online thing. Strange. Anyway, nevertheless, for the mandrakes I am hiring Jacob to thee for one night. And Jacob knew Leah, and she conceived and bare me. And on account of the hire I was called Issachar. Then appeared to Jacob an angel of Yah, saying, 2 children shall Rachel bear, inasmuch as she had refused company with her husband, and had chosen continency. And had not Leah my mother paid the 2 apples for the sake of his company, she would have borne 8 sons, and for this reason she bore 6. And Rachel bare the 2, for on the count of the mandrakes Yah visited her. For he knew that for the sake of the children she wished to company with Jacob, or for sake of children she wished to company with Jacob, and not for lust of pleasure. I mean, she had sex with him just because she wanted kids. For on the morrow also she again gave up Jacob. Because of the mandrakes, therefore, Yah hearkened to Rachel. For though she desired them, she cat them not, but offered them in the house of Yah, presenting them to the priest of the Most High, who was at the time. When, therefore, I grew up, my children, I walked in uprightness of heart, and I became a husbandman for my father and my brethren, and I brought in fruits of the field according to their season. My father blessed me, for he saw that I walked in rectitude before him, and I was not a busybody in my doings, nor envious and malicious against my neighbor. I never slandered anyone, nor did I censure the life of any man, walking as I did in singleness of eye. Therefore, when I was 35 years old, I took to myself a wife, for my labor wore away with my strength, and I never thought upon pleasure with women, but owing to my toil, sleep overcame me. Meaning he was basically a workaholic. He just worked and worked and worked to where, he didn't even think about women. And my father always rejoiced in my restitute, because I offered through the priest of Yah all firstfruits, then to my father also. And Yahweh increased 10,000-fold his benefit in my hand. And also Jacob, my father, knew that Yah aided my singleness. Excuse me. For on all the poor and oppressed I bestowed the good things of earth in the singleness of my heart. And now hearken to me, my children, walk in the singleness of your heart, for I have seen it in all that is well pleasing to Yah. The single-minded man coveted not gold. He overreached not his neighbor. He longed not after manifold dainties. He delight not in varied apparel. Don't worry about your money or these dainty things. Like what kind of possessions you have or what kind of clothes you got. Just believe in God. Yeah. Trust in him and he's going to provide. He does not excuse me. He does not desire to live a long life, but only wait for the will of Yah. And the spirits of deceit have no power against him. For he looked not unto the beauty of women, lest he should pollute his mind with corruption. Sometimes I have a problem with this still. especially at work. These women, they walk around with hardly anything on. It makes it really hard not to look. Really hard. Forgive me. There is no envy in his thoughts, no malicious person make his soul to pine away, nor worry with insatiable desire in his mind. For he walk in singleness of soul, and behold all things in uprightness of heart, shunning eyes made evil through the error of the world, lest he should see the perversion of any of the commandments of Yah. Keep therefore, my children, the law of Yah. So, what's the whole thing of all 5 that I've read now? Keep the commandments and the law, the Torah, all of them. They're never done away with. Nowhere in Scripture does it say the law is done away with. Nowhere. Anyway, keep the law of Yah and get singleness, walk in guidelessness, not playing the busybody with the business of your neighbors, minding your own business, but love Yah and your neighbor. Have compassion on the poor and the weak. Bow down your back unto husbandry. Toil in the labors in all manner of husbandry, offering gifts to Yah with thanksgiving. For with the first fruits of the earth will Yahweh bless you, even as he blessed all the saints from Abel even until now. For no other portion is given to you than other of the fatness of the earth, whose fruits are raised by toil. For our father Jacob blessed me with blessings of the earth, and of first fruits, and Levi and Judah were glorified by Yah, even among the sons of Jacob. For Yahweh gave them an inheritance, and to Levi he gave the priesthood, and to Judah the kingdom. And do ye therefore obey them, and walk in singleness of your father. For unto Gad hath it been given to destroy the troops that are coming upon Israel. Chapter 2. Alright. Kind of check the chat here for a moment. So, alright. Excuse me. It's kind of interesting, all these testaments, they basically, he's telling his sons and us, keep the commandments, follow the Torah, the law of Yah. The Torah is the law. There's not one man that can follow the entire Torah, because there were some laws that were made for farmers, some for women, some for men, some for priests. But the ones we can keep, all the laws we can keep and are able to, we're supposed to. Especially the Sabbath. Sabbath is the 7th day of the week. It's Saturday. It's not Sunday. Nowhere in Scripture was that changed either. But Saturday is his true Sabbath. That's when we should all be celebrating. There's other high Sabbaths and special feast events that are also Sabbaths, but the weekly Sabbath is every 7 days. Anyway, let's continue on here. Chapter 2. This one's fairly short, actually. Excuse me. 1 second here. Know ye, therefore, my children, that in the last times your sons will forsake singleness, and will cleave unto insatiable desire, and leaving guilelessness, will draw near to malice, and forsaking the commandments of Yah, they will cleave unto Beliar, or Baal, also Satan. And leaving husbandry, they will follow after their own wicked devices, and they shall be dispersed among the nations, and shall serve their enemies. And do you therefore give these commandments to your children, that if they sin, they may the more quickly return to Yah, for he is merciful, and will deliver them, even to bring them back into the land. You know, some think bringing them back into the land means, you know, the earthly Israel. Personally, I think it means heavenly Israel, bringing us back. Behold, therefore, as ye see, I am 166 years old, and I am not conscious of committing any sin. Except my wife, I have not known any woman. I never committed fornication by the uplifting of my eyes. I drank not wine to be led astray thereby. I coveted not any desirable I coveted not any desirable thing that was my neighbor's. Guile arose not in my heart. A lie passed not through my lips. If any man were in distress, I joined my sights with his. I shared my bread with the poor. I wrought godliness all my days. I kept truth. I loved Yah, likewise, also every man with all my heart. So do you also these things, my children. And every spirit of Baal shall flee from you. Every spirit of Baalar, every spirit of Satan shall flee from you. And no deed of wicked men shall rule over you. And every wild beast shall ye subdue, since you have with you Yahuwah Sevaoth, the Elohim of heaven and earth, and walk with men in singleness of heart. And having said these things, he commanded his sons that they should carry him up to Hebron, and bury him there, in the cave with his fathers. And he stretched out his feet, and died at a good old age, with every limb sound, and with strength unabated. He slept the eternal sleep. Zebulon's here next. So this one wasn't as long. Zebulon isn't as long either. It's actually, I think it's shorter than this one. So, yeah, I think this there's a connection to Hebron where they're all being buried. I'm pretty sure Adam and Eve were buried in Hebron as well. Maybe we should read the book of Adam and Eve. That's actually a pretty good one. I like that one, the book of Adam and Eve. I like it. It's a good read, honestly. You know what? I am going to do a reading on it. Don't know when. I'll figure it out. So, yeah. No, honestly, I don't think that one had a real strong verse about Messiah in it. Forgive me, I was wrong. They all don't have Messiah. Well, he kind of spoke about it, you know, coming out of Judah. You know, because Messiah took over the kingdom and the priesthood to be not only a priest, but a king as well, under Yahuwah. You know, because he didn't sin at all. He didn't sin at all the whole time up until they killed him. You know, he gave himself up. He wasn't a sacrifice in the, you know, accepted meaning of sacrifice. Like, he wasn't slaughtered to be sacrificed. He gave himself up as an offering. There's a difference. And because of that, he established a new priesthood. So that basically annulled all the Levitical laws in the Torah and the things ascribing to the Levites in the Torah. Because now, Yahusha He is our high priest and our king. So he's our mediator between us and Yah. So that's why we have to pray through him to Yah as our brother, our king, and our priest. Anyway, I babble on a lot. Forgive me. So, excuse me. Next reading is of Zebulon. That's also, the video is going to be on my page as well, my home page here on YouTube. Go ahead, like and share if you liked it, if you learned something. If you don't like it, thumbs down. Everyone's got their opinion, and that's fine. I just take a lot of time to go through all this, but I appreciate it. I enjoy doing it, actually, because not only do I get a chance to read everything, I get to share it, and maybe you guys can also get a chance to read and hear books you haven't heard before. That's my whole point. Anyway, I will see you guys on the next video here. Give me about 10 minutes or so, and I'm going to be there. Shalom.